なしかにゃそかいちこ We got another remake. The Lion King was directed by Jon Favreau and stars Donald Glover, Beyonce, James Earl Jones, Jaffer, Chitifil Ejiofor. I know I said that name wrong, but a lot of people struggle with that name. And it's the newest live-action remake, which Disney currently making, and of course the most iconic. And I think it's seriously like one of the best Disney classic animated movies, which there are. The Lion King. And of course, there's no mystery. I'm a huge fan of the Lion King series. I mean, I love The Lion King. As soon as I was small, that was one of my favorite movies. Like The Lion King, Tarzan, and Hercules. As you can see, those are my top three, I would say. So I was a little hesitant. Like, you're gonna remake The Lion King? It's like, how you gonna do that? Because this movie is like so perfect in a sense that doing it. What are you gonna like repeat the same movie just like in CGI form? But no, they do a lot of different stuff in the movie, which I found was like the whole overall of the movie is fine. Like it's not great, it's not terrible, it's fine. Out of all of the Disney live action remakes we got, I would say this one is the best one, but it's because Lion King is one of the best movies there is. The main core story points are still the same. You know, Mufasa dies, Hakuna Matata and all that, then goes back, fights Scar. Like all those main plot points are still in the movie. It's just the stuff in between that's changed. Like when Scar talks to hyenas, that's a little bit changed. Different scenes between characters are different, which was actually nice to see. It's like kind of like, okay, we're seeing this scene from a different view. But that's like basically it. It doesn't add anything like, that shows, it doesn't add anything much that feels like, oh my God, this is so much better than before. And it was hard because you're going against one of the best movies. But Jon Favreau did a great job with this movie, I would say. And I would say it looks really good. It looks really realistic. The CGI is amazing. That was really good. Hans Zimmer came back as the composer again, which was so great because it would make sense. Like, I mean, why would you pick anybody else except for the same composer who did the original movie? And as far as the voice acting goes, everybody does a really great job. Like all the voice actors do a really good job. They really make it believable. Just when it comes to Scar, Chitfield Aperture, I know I'm saying the name wrong, but he gives a good performance. He's a good performance as Scar, but he's not as terrifying and as evil as Jeremy Irons was. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, he gives a good job as Scar, but like I never felt as much threatened as when Jeremy Irons did it. For example, you all know the famous like long live the king, and then he throws it, and all that. It's like in this movie, it's like they change it a little bit different the way he says it, and it doesn't like it's not as bad. So that's like one of the, like, I would say, like sometimes something he didn't capture as well, because like Jeremy Irons has him as Scar gave such a unique performance. Like the way his voice sounds, it's just like it's hard to do something different, but he still did a good job in this version. So but when it comes to the whole music and the musical arrangements, the same thing happens like when Be Prepared. Like Be Prepared is like one of my favorite songs of the movie. It's like I listen to it like daily. I have it on my phone. I listen to it all the time. I love that song. I know about dun dun be prepared. And you have this great like Nazi hyena imagery where everybody was scary as hell. Like all the just like walking on that, I was just like, that's scary as hell though. And like the same thing with this, that song, specifically that song, felt kind of rushed and half-assed. What was actually sad to see, because I was excited to hear the song, but it kind of comes out of nowhere. Like they talk, and then all of a sudden you hear like drums, and then all of a sudden he talks, and then all of a sudden be prepared, be prepared. And I was like, so we starting the song. Okay, it kind of comes as a surprise, and it's not as performed, it's not as done as well as the original. And this is also like kind of what my problems is like, as in the original. But like as far as this movie is, like the rest, like I said, the voice acting is good. Timon and Pumbaa are really hilarious in the movie. There's some great fourth wall jokes to the audience. It was really hilarious. Seth Rogen is really great as Pumbaa. Pumbaa was always one of my favorite characters. So I was really curious about Pumbaa. Like I really like Pumbaa, yeah, we got a name and Fred. He was really hilarious and everything. What I really like. Some of the things that I feel like this movie doesn't hit as much the emotional beats as much as the animated movie did. I mean, yes, this is of course animated, but it's supposed to, look photorealistic. So, a lion, he doesn't have like we facial expressions. And because like in the cartoon which they did, all the lions and hyenas and everybody had facial expressions which could relate more, and that's why the emotional beats hit harder and got you more invested and got you more emotional in some of the scenes, like when Mufasa dies. And like, by the way, if somebody complains about me talking about Mufasa dies, like everybody knows Mufasa dies in this goddamn movie. This is like the saddest point of the entire movie. Like, for example, the scene when Mufasa dies. That's like still like one of the saddest scenes in Disney history. Like, but when you watch that scene and you see Simba, tearing up, and the way his facial expressions is in the cartoon, it's more emotional and you're more invested in that, because in this movie, because it's a lion cub, they don't have like facial expressions, so it's kind of like this one of the problems. All the lions kind of have one expression. Like they only have one type of, like how a lion looks, the one type of expression throughout the whole thing. So a lot of the times, like emotional story points are not going to hit as much like they did in the original one, because you don't feel like expressions. Like you'd have a cardboard cutout, basically, that moves like slightly, talk. Like you would have that scene when Mufasa dies and like a cardboard cutout, Dad. Yes, the voice is good made, and kid actor did a really good job, but like this kind of face, this kind of expression of the faces, I think really missed, and that's what actually made the movie so great, because it felt more relatable, like when you watch the original instead of this one. So that was only like my problem. I never felt like I could really connect as much with the characters when I did with the cartoon. And there are also some changes made. Also, like for example, there's a Beyonce song. I don't know why Disney have to put in an extra song. I mean, they only do it to make money. Like, nothing against Beyonce and everything, but it's unnecessary, really, to be honest. It's only there, like, for them to make more money. It's the same, like, the song Speechless in Aladdin, which I thought was really useless. Because there's, like, the biggest question is, like, I would say, is this movie better than the original? Oh, no, 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 no. This movie is not, of course, not better than the original. It's a fine. It's the best live action remake from all of them. It's because Lion King is one of the best movies Disney ever made. So I would say the movie is fine. It's just like there's stuff that really just like didn't. Yes, I would get emotional at some points, but that's because the nostalgia factor hits in. Because all the memories me as a kid watching the scenes, and the memory comes back and then hits home. But if I would watch it movie like if you would watch this movie fresh from this, the first time you never saw The Lion King, you never heard of it, nothing, you'd watch this version for the first time, it wouldn't hit you as much as the cartoon. Certain characters are just like not always fleshed out as quite. Some story points. There are also sometimes pacing issues that really like sometimes drag a little bit. But I kind of felt like, okay, let's pick up the pace a little, which was kind of few. And like I said, a few songs in here that are kind of like fast forwarded. A fine movie. It's just it also kind of feels unnecessary, like the whole other live action remakes. But as like I said, the movie is fine. The movie is okay. I would give this movie like. I was kind of struggling. Like I don't know. I'm in between like giving it a 6 out of 10, between 7 out of 10. I give it a 6.5. 6.5. Yeah, I'm gonna give it that. Like I said, The Lion King. Of course everybody's going to see it. I'm a huge fan of the Lion King movie. It's fine. It's good. It's not better than the original, because that's rarely ever is the case. But it's a fine remake. It's the best live action remake which we got. So I'm happy about that, and I'm fine with it. It's like. It was kind of weird watching the live action version of the remake, because I remember a couple days ago I watched the original Lion King, and I was just like, every beat still, like, this movie still holds up. The music, one of the things I like more in the original is because it's animation, you can do more fancy stuff, like when Jeremy Irons sing Be Prepared, everything is green, it looks scary. Like, you cannot do that in the like live action remake, because otherwise it would be unrealistic. So that's like one of the like pros and cons, I would say, of the main overall, like a Lion King. If you liked it, I would say. But I'm saying, okay, now can we please stop with the remakes? Like, cause like I don't know how many more of these they're gonna make. I think they're gonna do like every movie they ever make. I don't think there are much left. But I was like, okay, we got the Lion King. I was just like, okay, I think like we got it. But I think like it's gotten to this point now. Okay, Lion King. Okay, that's the last one. And now back to doing like more original stuff. Disney's going this nostalgia train all the time. Ooh, let's do Aladdin. Ooh, let's do Dumbo. Ooh, let's do, you know, Beauty and Beast. And let's do Lion King and everything. So yeah, I can understand those choices. Let's remake the most popular movies we already did. But like, I'm kind of saying like, okay, we got it, the Lion King, but I would leave it at Lion King and do like more original stuff. Like, don't push it too much with the live action remake because this only gonna go so far until people's gonna be like, oh, okay. I mean, yeah, people gonna see it, but we want, you know, people want to do something different or a little bit change. So I'm gonna say once again, yeah. So thanks everybody for watching. I hope you have a great day. And as always, see you next time. Hakuna Matata.
What?